There comes a moment in your life when everything starts to feel like a dream, a deception. Something in you stops believing. Every structure you once leaned on now feels suspicious. You hear familiar voices, but something in you no longer moves. Everything feels hollow, and you are not able to trust anything. Any word, any books, any creed, any system. And that is terrifying. But what if this mistrust isn't the absence of faith? What if the shattering of borrowed beliefs isn't collapse? Let me tell you something. You are not going mad. You've not become cynical. This is not a nihilistic despair either. It's the collapse of illusions. It is a powerful and transformative stage of awakening. A fire meant to burn away the false and reveal what's real enough. Stay with me, because today we will explore this dark night of the intellect, not as a disorder, but as a necessary phase in the pursuit of truth. Today, we exist in an evermore swarm of data, where the truth has been buried under the weight of information. We're drowning in noise disguised as knowledge, opinions dressed as facts, lifestyles dressed as truth, spiritual talks and motivational reels sold as wisdom. This phenomenon is widespread. Mindfulness, once rooted in ethical and contemplative discipline, is repackaged as a productivity tool. Rich philosophical and spiritual traditions are flattened into bite-sized quotes and marketed as lifestyle aesthetics. And self-styled gurus promise instant enlightenment for a fee. As Carl Jung warned, beware of unearned wisdom. What is offered is not depth, but a substitute. A polished surface that appeals to the yearning for meaning, while bypassing the necessary darkness, struggle, and interior reckoning that true transformation demands. This doubt is not despair, it's discernment. It's your mind refusing to swallow another illusion. It's your soul refusing to sell itself for comfort. This is the immune system of consciousness, which will help you distinguish reliable information and genuine insight from manipulative noise and harmful ideologies. The radical mistrust you are experiencing is a gateway, not a dead end. It is not a novel pathology of the modern age, but a recurring, often necessary, phase in the evolution of human understanding. Descartes, I think, therefore I am emerged from the ashes of this radical doubt. Zen monks burned the scriptures, just to remind you that a map is not the territory. As a Zen monk once said, if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. A warning against idolizing the teacher or the doctrine itself. The Buddha is merely a finger pointing at the moon. Fixation on the finger obscures the moon. Nietzsche's Bemensch came out of this radical mistrust for inherited religious and moral systems. There is nothing wrong with your mind. It's on the threshold of rebirth. To live this way is not easy. The collapse of external authority leaves the individual terrifyingly alone, yet radically responsible. A state that echoes the solitude of awakening. Here, the self is no longer protected by beliefs, no longer clothed in certainty. It stands exposed, uncomfortable, disoriented, but undeniably present. Humans are meaning-making creatures, thrust into a universe of apparent randomness and impermanence. Certainty, in beliefs or systems, acts as a psychological guard against this underlying anxiety. Clinging to dogma, even false or harmful dogma, can feel safer than facing the abyss of the unknown. This is not a despair, O seeker of the mysteries, it is the beginning of honesty. You are not lost, you are becoming clear. You are becoming raw. Out of that confusion rises a man of clarity. Out of that chaos, a burning star emerges. As Viktor Frankl said, what is to give light must endure burning. People will call you mad, lost, paranoid, and apostate. But in truth, you are the most awake among them, whose sight penetrates the deceptive layers of appearances. They want false certainty, which is comforting. But you want the truth. Look directly at life. There's truth in all of it. If you look without labeling, without rushing to interpret, no doctrine is more honest than your naked perception. A child cries, and you don't call it attention-seeking. You just hear pain. A tree sways in the wind, and you don't say beautiful. You just witness movement. You feel restlessness in your chest, and you don't label it anxiety, caffeine, trauma, or boredom. You just feel energy moving. This is naked perception, before belief, before narrative, before the mind makes sense of it all, reality before the reconstruction. This path does not end in destruction, it ends in a different kind of seeing. After being struck with realizations of illusions and false certainty, you return stripped bare to the undeniable ground available, the immediate embodied encounter with reality as it presents itself, moment by moment. This naked perception is the wellspring of genuine honesty, and the ultimate arbiter for discerning what is real. It is not the end of inquiry, but its most authentic beginning. You do not become jaded, you become gentle, not because the world is kind, but because you see clearly. You no longer need to believe, to care. You no longer need certainty, to act. You don't trust books, but you read them, listening for what rings true. You don't follow systems, but you move through the world with quiet attention. You trust the ache in your chest, the tremble in a child's cry, the sound of leaves shifting against the wind. You only trust what you can feel before your mind explains it. This is naked perception. This is honesty without armor. Radical mistrust is not the end of the inquiry, but its most authentic beginning. It's the crucible that burns away the false. So, my dear, sit with the mistrust. Don't run. Don't try to fix it. See what it wants to teach you. Because sometimes the collapse of belief is the only honest path to the beginning of a dancing star. And what leads to its complete realization is superior. Dare to know. If something in this video stayed with you, even a small moment of clarity, a thought, a question, even just a feeling, share it in the comment section. Thank you.